And we're live. Welcome back for another stream. How are you all today? Less than 48 hours since last Gameweek wrapped up, but we're back already. Gameweek 15. We've got Wolves v Burnley tonight, and we've got Luton v Arsenal, so that's exciting if you've got Arsenal players anyway. I know some of you have got a few Wolves players as well. Obviously, a lot of question marks this week on players like Tsimikas, Darwin, Gordon, Gabriel, etc. Like whether these guys are going to be starting or rotated. So let us know what you think about that. I do think if you've got the likes of Tsimikas and Darwin, you have to start them. But yeah, we could get some unpredictable rotation with such a tight turnaround. So welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome Abdi, Sidemen Shorts, Joseph, Noctambuli, Karim, Abadi, Adam. I think I saw Phil in the chat. Zip. Welcome all of you to the stream. How's everyone doing today? Team sorted out, locked in, transfers made, or are you still yet to lock in what you're doing? I moved earlier last night. I've actually made a transfer, and I said I was going to bring in Dubravka, and I did. But I actually sold Areola, not Turner. I initially thought I'd probably go for the Dubravka Areola rotation. But if anyone follows me on Twitter, I was having a mental breakdown last night trying to work out what I was going to do, whether it was Turner out or Areola out. I mean, that's a ridiculous thing to have a mental breakdown about. Wasn't actually, but basically I looked at it, and if I sell Areola for Dubravka, which is what I've done, I've got enough money to keep Gordon, and I was going to be selling Gordon. So instead I sold Areola. So it is a bit risky. I've only got one keeper now. So Areola's left the team. Dubravka's come in. And I've got enough money to potentially scrape through 18. I can probably sell Tsimikas for someone like Colwell in a couple of weeks. And so I can sell Kabore for a 4.5 mil defender as a consequence of selling Areola instead of Turner. So it's a bit risky, but yeah, Dubravka in. Anyone else picked up Dubravka? Feels like an absolute gift, doesn't he? Like 4 mil keeper, 4 mil now. He was 3.9 mil last night, so I picked him up before the rise. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my team. I'm still waiting for the guy on the last stream to tag me with evidence that he actually watches the deadline streams on his smart fridge. I don't believe it. What are you guys tuning in from? Are you on your phones today? Laptops, TV? Or are you just listening audio only? But yeah, thanks for the good comments this week as well. I'm feeling a lot better than I was on Saturday. It was COVID, so that was a difficult stream. A 2-hour stream with a sore throat and so on. But I'm pretty much better now, so that's good. So welcome all of you. Tune in on the PSP, tune on the iPad, fair play. The work laptop, I hope they don't track your browser history for more reasons than one. He's on the Stream Deck, Zip. Fair play, laptop as usual. Nice one. Teacher Steve says, Alvarez to Isak or Martinelli to Ødegaard. I'm not a big fan of either of those moves, if I'm honest. If I had to pick one, it would be Martinelli to Ødegaard. I think Isak's probably an avoid now. He was fine last week, but Wilson's back in training. I think he's going to be nearing a start. I think I read he's back in training anyway. I certainly read that he's nearing a return. So I think Isak's probably an avoid now. So I wouldn't be sacrificing Alvarez for Isak myself. So if I had to pick one of those, I'd go Martinelli to Ødegaard. It's a bit sideways though. But yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, Ødegaard does look like the better pick than Martinelli, I have to say. But it's a bit sideways. Brian, how we doing? Shout out Brian Morrissey. He always comments on my videos. Very reliable commenter. He says he's on the TV and using the phone to chat. He's got the dual setup. Fair play, Brian. EKHD, triple captain Salah. I've had a few comments about this week. I get it, like it's an unbelievable fixture. In terms of away fixtures this season, it's the most projected goals for any team, Liverpool, against Sheffield United. And obviously they're managerless. I don't know if we'll see Chris Wilder, Heckingbottom sacked, so he's the first sacking of the season. So obviously, I mean, this fixture on paper has goals written all over it. But my position's always the same, and you probably know what I'm going to say with triple captaincy. I will always use it in a double game week. Always. And there's a good chance that Man City get one in Game Week 20. And that would be Brentford home and Sheffield United home, I think. Yeah, Game Week 20, they're home to Sheffield United. And then midweek, or the midweek after that, they would have Brentford home. It might not drop in. Ben Crellin's obviously the man to follow with double game weeks. And he's been tweeting about it. And he says if there's an announcement, it should come this week. But there is a chance it moves into Game Week 21 or 24 or 25. So, I mean, even if it was 21, I think Newcastle away, Brentford home is way better than using it on Salah this week, myself. That's my take on the triple captaincies. Chris Wilder's gone Huddersfield. No, he hasn't. What? Hang on. Has he? I swear I've got the update here. No, I did have the update. Yeah, Chris Wilder's the new manager of Sheffield United. Or has he been gazumped last minute by Huddersfield? I must have missed that. No, he's gone to. He's definitely gone. They've tweeted all about it. Romanji, thanks for the 2 months. He's got the day off work and he says cheers for Illinois. Nice, got the day off work. Is that because of FPL or he just happens to have the day off work? Perfect timing for you anyway. You got a nice, I guess it's morning there in Illinois. Got a morning deadline or / early afternoon deadline. Got football to watch in the afternoon, I guess, for you. Are you going to be watching any games later, Romanji? It's got to be Luton v Arsenal one tonight, isn't it? I guess everyone's going to be watching that. Unless you're a Wolves or Burnley fan. Dubravka gang. So who's brought in Dubravka? Anyone not brought in Dubravka? Seems like everyone's bloody got Dubravka now. I mean, he's just a gift, isn't he? Like 4 mil, an elite defence, you know, top 3 defence in the league. What's not to love? Obviously, there's downsides, which we talked about in this week's videos. Like there is risks. They could sign a keeper in the January window, that sort of thing. But it's an opportunity, and I've gone for it. And I mean, it's quite lucky, really, that how this has played out with Dubravka, because he has potentially given me the opportunity to keep hold of Gordon. I was in a bit of a pinch with my team. It was looking like I'd have to sell Gordon for Palmer, and I'd end up missing out on Fulham, Luton and Forest. But now the aim is to hold Gordon for that run. And in theory, I mean, I'm really counting on no injuries at this point. It is very tight this month. I think it's going to be a month where more people are going to be taking hits than aren't. At least one hit. I mean, I guess some of you have taken hits already, right? I know a lot of people took hits even last game week, like Watkins to Darwin, that sort of thing. Anyway, welcome all of you to the stream. I've got loads to cover this stream. I've got all the key news from today's pressers, and obviously some of the press conferences aren't till tomorrow. So I've just pieced together whatever we've got. Yeah, we'll look at Kings of the Game Week scout selection, the usual goal scorer odds, probabilities, clean sheet odds, top transfers, and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's good to have you all here. Obviously, it's an awkward deadline time for many of you. It's 4:10 UK time at the moment, so I guess some of you are at work at the moment. Has anyone got the stream on the down low at work right now? Sneaky deadline stream while you're still at work? Or perhaps you're on the drive home from work? What a great thing to have on for the drive home from work. Nice deadline stream. Loz with a £2 super chat. Badia Shill, a viable cheap Chelsea option. Yeah, I've been looking at him. At the moment, I think Colwill edges it, but I'm definitely looking at him because he's 4.4 mil. And he's been really good since he came back from injury. The problem is the depth that they've got in centre-back. They've got Thiago Silva and Disasi. You know, maybe Colwill gets a game at left centre-back as well, but he's probably going to be left-back competing with Cucurella. I'm definitely monitoring him. It's maybe a bit risky right now. Marsha's, sorry, working. Gordon confirmed. Yeah, we'll talk about Gordon as well. We've got loads to cover, and deadline stream while working away. Got it on in the background. There's no way you can multitask FPL Addict. I mean, your name gives it away. He's supposed to be working, but he's got the stream up. Fair play. Immortal techniques at work as well. 24k Will says, Focal the GOAT for the Watkins leak. Oh, you know what? I still got stick for that, because I didn't get a concrete update the next morning. I can't even tell you guys what happened in the background after all that. It was pretty hectic. Because I was told Friday night that he starts, which is what I said on the stream. And I was going to get a concrete update the next morning, but because I preemptively tweeted that, it caused some ruckus behind the scenes. That's all I can say. But I've never leaked anything Villa related that's been wrong. This guy has never ever been wrong. But people thought I was making it up and stuff like that. But you know, if you follow the breadcrumbs, it was like all there. Do I start Elanga or Watkins? That's a good question. I think I'd start Watkins. I feel like Villa could actually score 1 or 2. You know, City without Rodri, without Grealish. And obviously they're a force at home. So I think I'd give Watkins the start there. FPL Addict says, now that we've established I'm an addict, thoughts on Semenyo Focal? I'm actually looking at him as well for Game Week 18 potentially. 4.6 mil forward. Obviously Palmer 4.5 mil, but Semenyo looks like the superior pick there by a long way. He's got 5 returns this season, including in recent game weeks. Yeah, only 4.6 mil, and obviously nice fixtures for Bournemouth. So I am looking at him. I'm considering Semenyo as an Archer replacement. Yeah, I think he's a good pick. Obviously, he's not a guaranteed starter, but I think he's a nice pick. It's close between him and Wood, I would say, for the best budget forward. Archer, third best. 24k Will Focal, what you sipping on, fella? Today's choice is orange squash. What have you guys got for this deadline stream? Hydration check. City will concede as usual. I mean, this is it. Like, they've been conceding recently. They've been conceding quite a few recently. So 3 against Spurs, 1 against Liverpool, 4 against Chelsea, 1 against Bournemouth, 1 against Brighton, conceded to Arsenal. So they're not looking quite the elite defence that we know they can be as of late. And yeah, the 2 games they've lost this season was without Rodri, and Rodri's suspended. Pratik's on the coconut water. Coconut water? I've never had that before. I suppose I have when I've cracked one open, but I've never bought it from the shops. I assume that's what you've done. I imagine. I'm guessing you haven't just bought a coconut, cracked it open for the deadline stream. Fair play. Hazardous says Areola, Turner, Trippier, Porro, Tsimikas, Share, Zinchenko, Johnson, Son, Saka, Sterling, Foden, Haaland, Alvarez, and Darwin. Who should I play? God, you got a very well spread team there. So you have to start Areola, so that's fine. Trippier you have to start. Zinchenko I'd start. So it's between Porro and Tsimikas. I wouldn't start Share, so it's Porro, Tsimikas in defence. I suppose you could play it safe and start Porro, because Tsimikas is just a question mark, isn't it, whether he starts or not. Johnson, Son, Saka, Sterling, Foden. So I'd start Haaland. This is the problem this week. Like, you have to start Darwin, even though he is a doubt to start. I feel like you have to start him. I think I'd put Alvarez ahead of Johnson just about this week. So Son, Saka, Sterling. I think I'd bench Johnson. I'd start Foden. You have to start Darwin. So I'd go 3-4-3. Trippier, Porro, Zinchenko defence. Tsimikas first on bench. Yeah, that's a really well spread squad, but nightmare this week. Let's do a poll. Who thinks Darwin starts? Who thinks he doesn't? Will Darwin start against Sheffield United? The poll is up. Get your votes in on that. Let's see what consensus, wisdom on the crowd says. So on the one hand, Diaz started last match. He started the match before that, I believe. So it could be Diaz that misses out, or it could be Darwin that misses out and Gakpo replaces Darwin up top. Semenyo's going to AFCON soon. Yeah, fair point, fair point. I mean, I don't think we're going to need him. He'll be last on our benches more often than not. But he's, I think he's a handy one for the next few weeks. They've got like Luton, Forest, and a few other good fixtures coming up. Max Simmons with the black FPL Focal badge flex. Is that 24 months, Max? I think Max is the longest standing member. So shout out to Max. Joe Gower says Gordon's the GOAT. I agree with that. I think it's close, Gordon or Messi. I think it's close. Maybe Gordon, then Messi, then Ronaldo. Why'd you delete your message, Joe? I agree with you, mate. I mean, Gordon's been an absolute hero. I picked him up in Gameweek 7 on the wildcard. And I can't believe how well he's done. I only got Gordon because I couldn't afford Bowen. So I was like, who else can I afford? I'll just go for Gordon. And he was... How much was he then? Oh, it's cut off. I don't know what he was. Like 5.6 or something? No, maybe less. Yeah, he's just been unbelievable. So we'll talk about him in the news roundup in a sec. So lots to talk about in terms of all the news across all the teams. In terms of whether Darwin starts, very divided. 54% reckon he does. 46% reckon he doesn't. Interesting. Okay, let's go through the news roundup. We've been live for about 15 or so minutes, so that should be enough time to run through all the bits and bobs, the news from today. We'll start off with the GOAT, Gordon. Tweet from Neil from Fantasy Football Scout. Gordon was spotted in training on Sky Sports News early today. So good news, Gordon owners. Despite the yellow flag, he has been seen in training. Trippier wasn't on the training pitch this morning, but Key from Sky Sports reporting there's no major concerns and he was getting treatment indoors. Couldn't see Botman, but could have missed him, he said. And on the subject of Botman, in case you missed it, Botman was scheduled to be back in training yesterday. That was from The Athletic. So just a heads up for the Lascelles owners, something to keep an eye on. Botman could be back very soon. Might not be another couple of game weeks or so, but he's nearing a return, finally. And Nkunku's not going to be ready for Gameweek 15, and likewise Lavia. Obviously Gallagher's suspended, but Reece James is back for their fixture this midweek. Bit of City news, Grealish and Rodri suspended, as I said, and Guardiola couldn't comment on Doku's fitness after he came off against Spurs. Nunez was described as weeks or days away from return last presser, so he remains a doubt. John Stones, unused substitute the last 3 matches, is fit. Bit of Brighton news. Matoma is going to be assessed tomorrow to determine whether he can start after his fitness-led benching in Gameweek 14. A lot of injury still for Brighton. March, Welbeck and Cisse Webster, Estupino, Fati and Lamptey are all out. Dunk and Dahoud are suspended as well for that one. So it could be good for us and Boomer owners, to be fair, with a lot of Brighton players missing. As we said earlier, Heckingbottom? I've forgotten his name. It's the first sacking of this season, so Chris Wilder's replaced him as the new manager. Wilder was the one who pioneered Lord Lundstrom for us many seasons back. Klopp's unsure of how long Matip's going to be sidelined, but added it doesn't look good. Jota and Alisson remain out, with the goalkeeper the closer of the two of returning. And I picked up a quote just now before we went live. Klopp was talking about the Trent role, but he said something interesting on Tsimikas. He was asked about Trent and his role and playing as a 6 and so on. He said it's just about us and who's available. Connor Bradley, Joe Gomez, can one play left back? Because Costa Tsimikas can't play all the games. We will see. So yeah, he obviously is remarking on what we're kind of aware of anyway. Like, can Tsimikas play all games? The answer is going to be no. It's just where does he miss out? Hopefully not this midweek. It would be ideal if he plays the Sheffield United game, and then I might consider selling him Game Week 16. Anurag says, have a defence of Trippier, Livra, Kilman, Cash, Guay. Double Newcastle defensive Livra is suboptimal, I guess. No Arsenal was a bit scary. Guay fixtures turn next week, and Cash fixtures, plus he's been benched recently, also sucks. 0.4 million in the bank. I don't think you need to make a move in defence this week. So you start Trippier, you start Livra, and you start Kilman, I would say. Guehi first on the bench, and then Game Week 16, you could sell Cash for Colwill. I think makes a lot of sense. Or maybe if you can afford Reece James in 2 moves, it could be an interesting one. Don't know if I'll go back to James. I've owned him probably 3 times in the last year, and he's been injured all 3 times I had him. So he's kind of one of those for me that I'm just never going back. But I don't think you need to make a defender transfer. Just start those 3. Mr. says, is FPL all chance or is it actually tactical? It's a bit of both. In fact, I'll throw this one back at you guys. What would you say the percentage is between skill and luck? So would you say it's like 50% skill, 50% luck? Or 75% skill? What do you guys think on that? I mean, I think it's a big mix of both. Like, skill does take you far, but only so far. Like, you need a lot of luck. You can't like account for random stuff like injuries and like random hauls, missed penalties, that sort of thing. You could pick a team full of penalty takers. You get lucky, they win a pen. You get unlucky, they all miss it. There's so much variance in football, which is great, by the way, for us, because like FPL can't ever be completely optimized. It's like not solvable, if you see what I mean. Games like chess, you just can't beat a supercomputer. But that's never going to apply to football. Obviously, like, we use stuff like FPL review, projected points and stuff like that to get a good feel of like what's expected to happen based on how players are performing. But there's too much randomness in football, so that's the great thing about the beautiful game. It's never going to be destroyed by bots or whatever algorithms completely. There's too much variance. 65% skill, 80% skill, 69% skill, 31% luck. Leanne reckons 65% skill. 50-50. 99% luck. I mean, to win the whole thing, you need 99%, or even to get to first. Like, I'll be the first to admit, when I was at number 1 for a couple of weeks, that was complete luck. You have to have so much luck to get there. No one can honestly say, oh yeah, I got there because it was all skill. You need so much to go for you. Like when I got there, I had Ben Foster on a bench boost, and he saved a penalty, something like that. It's just like, it was such a lucky week that knocked me up to number 1. Sell Trippier for Simicast. Definitely wouldn't sell Trippier. Trippier is an absolute hold. I wouldn't be selling him. I think literally the only case there is for selling Trippier is if you don't have Haaland and he's your only route getting back to Haaland. I was actually just going to ask that, Mike. Has anyone seen the new GTA 6 trailer? He says it's going to affect his FPL in 2025. I watched the trailer just now. It's already got like 70 million views in like 5 hours. Absolutely crazy. It does look sick. I can't wait for that. But yeah, it's not out for another couple of years. Garion says the perfect Diaby replacement. Not sure of Gordon. I think he is the perfect replacement. I mean, it's very close between him and Palmer, depending on what you can do with that extra money. But as I said in the news roundup just now, Gordon was spotted in training on Sky Sports News. So I'm feeling a lot less worried about the flag than I was before this news from early today. So yeah, if you've got Gordon, I think it looks a lot better than it did before that tweet earlier from Nil. Tube Shot says green arrow this game. Let's have it. Let's have a green arrow. How about that? I don't know how much longer this run of green arrows I'm on can continue, but I'd love another one. Will Darwin start v Sheffield United? 57% yes, 43% no. We'll follow that up with a Simicast poll then. So you guys think he's likely to start? Let's do a Simicast one. My position on Simicast and Darwin is if you got them, you have to play them. Basically. Simple as that. Like, there is every chance that one of them or both gets benched, but you'll kick yourself if they start. Because if they start, there's holes in there. Mike's praying that Simicast starts. So am I. I've got Maguire staring at me on the bench. Our bench is dead this week. Isn't Mbumo a must-have? Not a must-have. He's a great transfer. As I've said this week in the videos, and last week's actually, like Brighton are missing so many players. The back four was, I think, Veltman, Hinshelwood, Van Heck and Igor. So, I mean, that's a pretty ropey back four. Dunk's suspended. And there's loads of other regular starters injured. So, I think there's goals in that game for Brentford. So, Mbumo's a great pick. Not essential, because he's got 3 games in the blank. Thoughts about Hwang? Yeah, actually, Hwang's a good shout as a Diaby replacement. Definitely a good shout. I'd probably put him third after Gordon, Palmer, and then I'd have Hwang. He's got 2 home games, so he's got Burnley tonight. So that's good, actually. You've got something to cheer on tonight. He's home to Burnley. Oh, thank you, FCH Sean, for the 5 gifted. Thanks very much for dropping the 5 gifted there. Thanks so much for that, Sean. If you got one of those, make sure you thank Sean in the chat. Dominic got one, Kian, Poker, lost your name, Please Work, and Sheaf, you got one. Yeah, and if anyone else wants to become a member, it's the join button below the stream. You get some good perks. It's like really cheap, supports the channel, it lets me do this full time for you guys. You get a badge by your name in the stream and comments. You get access to the members Discord channel. You get early access to videos. There's the members league. Loads of goodies that come with that. And as I say, supports the channel. So yeah, big shout out to Sean for the 5 gifted there. Do I start Ben White? Absolutely. Ben White will start. Tommy Asu won't. Kay says, bench order. Taylor, Maguire, Archer. How many game weeks do you think Lascelles will get before Botman's return? Well, I would put Maguire first. I don't expect they'll keep a clean sheet. And then, hang on, no, Taylor's got Wolves. I'd go Taylor, Maguire, Archer in that exact order. Same order you've got it in. realistically, Burnley aren't keeping a clean sheet, nor Man United. And Archer is certainly not scoring against Liverpool. Famous last words. How many game weeks do we think Lascelles gets? It's really hard to say because like Botman, we've just not had any concrete updates. All we know is that he was reportedly back in training yesterday, or scheduled to be. I think you get maybe another 2-3 games out of Lascelles, if I had to guess. But it's really hard because we don't have complete info. As always with a lot of these presses. Zelda, thank you for the 5 months. He says, do you think Nunez starts this week? I hate to say it, but I don't think he does. I'm not convinced he starts. If I'm brutally honest, I don't think he does. And then I think he'll start in a harder game against Palace on the weekend. But if I had him, I'd be starting him. He could get something off the bench, you know, if he doesn't start. And if he does start, like, there's holes in that fixture. So it's one of those. I think you have to play him, but I really don't think he starts. I think Gakpo comes in. Max with the £2 super chat, he says start Tsimikas, Van Heck or Taylor. It's got to be Tsimikas. He's in the same boat as Darwin. Like if you've got Darwin or Tsimikas, you have to start them. I think it's a dangerous game when you start trying to predict managers. I've made that mistake before, and especially like with the likes of Pep when his rotation was at its peak. You're like, he did this here, and then he's done that midweek, so then this should happen, and then it doesn't happen, and you've made a bad call. So I think Tsimikas is likely to start than Darwin. Looks like you guys agree. 78% say Tsimikas starts, 22% no. Interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those game weeks. There's gonna be random bench-ins. Like, does Kirill get a game ahead of Gabriel tonight? Maybe. Probably not. S-Bam says, next poll, does Gabriel start? Let's do that then. It's a predicting game this week, isn't it? Like, who's actually going to play? Does Gabriel start versus Luton? Very interested to know what you guys think on the Gabriel one. That's a really tough one to call. Again, if you have him, you have to play him. Explorer says, how's your cold, Oscar? It's not too bad. I'm pretty much recovered. Throat's a little bit sore. But hopefully you can tell I'm already like much better than I was on that Saturday stream. Tube Shots with the 10 gifted memberships. Holy. Tube Shots, thanks so much for that. It's very, very generous of you. Let me try and catch you. Got those. Loblaw, Wenless, Hassan, Harry Holiday, Steve, Mark, Isaac. I've lost the other names. If you got a membership there from Tube Shots, make sure you thank him for that. Really appreciate that, Tube Shots. Thanks for the support. Welcome to all the new members. Welcome. Good to have you all. Yeah, another thing I forgot to even mention about the members channel on Discord is I tend to share stuff like the experts transfers a day or two before the video goes out, so that can be helpful as well, because obviously, for example, today I made the experts video and Dubravka had already gone up in price, so that can be a perk as well, because then you can see exactly what the experts are doing before I finished editing the video, if that makes sense. So there's so many reasons to become a member. Anyway, pitch over. Welcome to all of you to the stream. We've got 1,500 tuning already, so welcome. If you're not subscribed, then make sure you hit subscribe as well. Keep your questions coming. We'll cover off the Kings of the Game Week and Scout selection in a minute, and all the other bits and bobs we've got to go through. Do we captain Saka? I don't hate it, but I think Salah, if he got Salah, I just think he's too obvious. Like Sheffield United, bottom of the Premier League, most goals conceded, most shots in the box conceded. They don't even have a manager. I mean, I don't know if Wilder will be on the touchline. Technically, they have a manager, but you know what I mean. Like their manager's just been sacked. I think it's too soon for a manager bounce as well. He's probably had one training session, if that. Yeah, thanks very much for that, Tube Shots. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support. And to all those new members, if you have Discord, you just go into settings and log into your YouTube account under connections, and you'll instantly see the members channel. You don't even need me to set you up. It's all automated. The future is now. Dallo, Dina, or Udogie? I would go Udogie between those three. Start Cash or Soufal? I think I'd go Soufal. Don't think either keep a clean sheet, but I'd go Soufal. Palmer to Mbumo. I wouldn't sell Palmer. I know he was benched last game week, but there was rumours that were coming out before the lineups dropped that said he picked up a minor injury in training and he's going to face a late fitness test. And then he was on the bench, so I feel like that was the only reason. I think it was just that, not tactical. And obviously Gallagher's out, so we'll see Palmer in the 10 role. I guess it'll be Sterling and Mudryk on the wings. So definitely don't sell Palmer. Thanks for the super chat. Jeffrey says he's got Trippier for a Dogi instead of Mitchell. He's got 0 in the bank to upgrade Mitchell to Porro next week. Advice on how to navigate this. Hang on, so you got Trippier for a Dogi. Ah, okay. So you've sold a Dogi for Trippier, and you've got Mitchell, and you want to get Porro next week. It's hard to say about knowing the rest of your team, but next week, Porro's got Newcastle, so I suppose you could just delay that till the week after when they've got Nottingham Forest. I don't think it's a priority transfer next week. And instead, you might be tempted by someone else, you know, like Colwell, Reece James. I've mentioned Reece James a couple of times. It's not someone I'm going to buy myself, but I know a lot of people are considering him for the upside. And Gusto's injured right now as well. If you can't do it in one move, then you just roll over the Newcastle fixture and then do it in 2 moves after. Maybe there's someone else you could downgrade to free up the money. But it's hard to say about knowing your whole team. But that's what I would do. Yeah, I like the Porro pick. He's not essential, but I think he's a great pick. You know, you might find it works better for your team to go Mitchell sideways to another 4.5 mil midfielder, defender, sorry. FCH Sean, thanks for the 14 months. He says, thoughts on Awani and Lamptey to Solanke and Reece James. Oh, that's an interesting one. I mean, Awani's got to go. Lamptey's always injured. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I think Reece James, he's a really exciting high upside pick. As I said, Gusto's injured. He's got the fixtures. Not so much this week, but you know, he's the kind of player that could get something in any week. Yeah, I like that. I can't think of... it's between Reece James and Porro. Honestly, if I had to pick one between the two, Pedro Porro, I prefer to Reece. But if you're an upside chaser, Reece James, I would say, he's got the highest ceiling. You know, we've seen him put up like 20 plus points in one game week before. And Solanke's great as well. Yeah, I like those 2 moves. Good moves. But yeah, I prefer Pedro Porro to James myself. And you still got the door open to a Chelsea defender like Colwell. So, guesses in the chat. It's that time. King of the game last week was Ben Mee with 14 points. Get your guesses in. Who's going to be the top scorer of Game Week 15? And if you're on Discord, a reminder to get your guess in the Kings of the Game Week channel. I went Van Dijk. I'm going to go a bullet header from Van Dijk. Maybe an assist as well, and a clean sheet. Darwizzi, Hwang, Mudryk, Leon Bailey, Kulusevski, Salah, Bruno, Hwang, Kudus, Watkins. Imagine if it's Watkins after the amount of sales he's had recently. Trent's a good shout. Yeah, I think Trent. No, an FPL Turner. Surely Dubravka. Dubravka, king of the game week. Clean sheet, penalty saved. Jay, thanks for the super chat. Says, thoughts on this team. Dubravka, Trippier, Cher, Colwell, Salah and Bumo, Bowen, Kudus, Darwin, Alvarez and Haaland. Anything you would change? It's a great team. Anything I would change? I don't think there is, to be honest. I mean, Kudus to Bowen. Kudus to Gordon is an option you could consider. I think Gordon's like 0.4, 0.5 cheaper, so that's something you could consider. But you know, Kudus isn't form, so he's not like a hard sell. But it does get you off double West Ham midfield, which I feel is maybe a bit overinvested. Because you're basically one result away from where West Ham are goalless, and you've got 2 blanking players there. So that's all I would consider Kudus, but you can definitely afford to roll this week with that team. Jesus, you reckon? Dawson, Almiron. Captain Willian, you're winding me up. Haaland. Yeah, interesting. We'll come back to that on the next deadline stream. I mean, the next deadline after this one is Saturday, isn't it? God, it's an absolute grind, the videos. I've done 3... I've edited and recorded 3 videos in the last 24 hours. It's going to be similar, isn't it? Because this game week ends on Thursday. Thursday is Everton, Newcastle, Spurs, West Ham. And then, yeah, game week 16 is on Saturday, Crystal Palace v Liverpool. So that's good news, actually. Liverpool have got the early kickoff on Saturday. So on that stream, we might have some early news on Liverpool, like if Darwin starts and that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm potentially going to be selling Tsimikas, or maybe bench him. I could just play Maguire home to Bournemouth. Jade, thanks for the 10 gifted memberships. Oh my days. I think we've had 25 gifted this stream already. Thanks so much for that, Jade. That's really generous of you. If you got one of those from Jade, make sure you thank her. I think Jade is a her, right? Yi Chung In got one. Rem Raiders, Cooper, Harry got one. Jago, Brownie, Mars, Noah, Adrian, and Mike all got memberships. Thanks for that, Jade. Appreciate that. Is a Kanji a good move? I would say not. I would avoid a Kanji. I mean, City are conceding recently. They've got a blank in 18. I wouldn't be going City defence, personally. AJ Lewis, is Trent worth taking a -4? Really depends on who you're selling as part of that. Probably not, but it depends who you're selling. You know, let's say you've got a crap defender and an injured midfielder, and you sell the midfielder to Palmer, you upgrade the defender to Trent. That's like a really solid pair of moves, but it really depends on the combination of moves, if you see what I mean. The poll, so does Gabriel start v Luton tonight? 74% say he does, 26% say he does not. We'll find out in a couple of hours when the lineups drop. Obviously, if there's any early news or leaks, so I'll let you guys know, but I think it's unlikely for Arsenal. We don't tend to get anything. But I'll keep an eye out, as always. Thanks very much again, Jade, for the 10 gifted. And Tube Shots, and Sean as well earlier. Appreciate that. Who to start? Cher or Gueye? That's pretty close, but I think Cher. By Gordon or Palmer? I'm gonna do a poll for this one, and I'll give you my answer. Who's the better pick? Who's the better pick to buy, Gordon or Palmer? My opinion on this has changed. Chances of João Pedro starting. I actually think he starts this one, even though it's really weird. He's been benched so much recently, but I do think he starts. I think he has to start this one. You know, it's a midweek turnaround. He was benched last match. I think he starts. You should add Hwang. Yeah, true. Personally, I think Hwang's third between those three. So, Gordon, Palmer and Hwang. I'd put Hwang third. So, if it was me, I'd probably prioritise those two first. Yeah, 62% say Gordon. I agree with that. I just think like he's gone up a level and it has to be Gordon now. But Palmer's a very, very good move as well. Like Palmer's got the fixtures. I mean, like if we look at the schedule, this is the concern I have with Gordon. This is from Lego Mane, an FPL calendar. The only concern is that Newcastle have got the worst schedule, along with Liverpool and West Ham. So you can see here, these are the game weeks, these columns, and then the grey ones are European football or other cups. So there's the League Cup there as well. So their schedule is just like awful. Everton, Tottenham, and then they've got AC Milan, that's home, and then they've got Fulham. So they get no midweeks off, and then they've got Chelsea in the League Cup, Luton. But they do have very good fixtures like in the league. Like Gordon, home to Fulham, away to Luton, home to Nottingham Forest. So, Yeah, I do think Gordon's the better between the two. Thank you, Jade, for becoming a member as well. Thanks very much for that, Jade. Appreciate your support. If you've got Discord, make sure you link your YouTube account to it, Jade, and you get access to the members channel. And of course, if anyone wants to become a member, it's the join button below the stream. You get a little badge by your name. I've got like, I don't know what you call it, milestones. Like every month, your focal badge by your name changes colour based on how long you're a member. I forget the ordering of the colours now, but Max is one of the very few that's hit 24 months. So he's got the black emoji. I think I'm right in saying that. A little loyalty badge, I suppose you could call it. Where is it? Memberships. I forget exactly what the levels are now. Yeah, it goes red, blue, green, orange, gold, black. Oh, there's a purple one. What's the purple one? I forgot I did this. I don't even know what the purple one is. I mean, that was wishful thinking when I set the purple one up. Maybe that's like 36 months. I don't know. I think when I set that up, I was like, there's no way this ever happens. But I think Max is in with a shout there. Reese is 56k. He's wildcarding in Gameweek 16. Interesting. Is it active, Max? I feel like Gameweek 19, if I had it, would be the week I use it. Let us know in chat. What's your rank at the moment? Where is everyone sitting in the overall rankings right now on the FPL leaderboards? Be honest. AJ Lewis, thanks for becoming a member as well. Thanks very much for that, AJ. Thanks for that. Skildo, when's Nkunku back? He's out for this game week, but I think he could be back on the weekend, but we don't know for sure. We don't have an actual concrete answer on that. I think he has a chance of making a cameo next weekend. Slaughter in the chat, welcome mate, how we doing? Barry's 2.1k, Jago 600k, Oliver just behind 650k, John's 198k. I'm coming for you, John. I'm catching up, mate. I'm on a run at the moment. I don't know how long the run's going to last, but I'm getting there. You better look over your shoulder, John. I'm coming. James is 35k. 5 mil, 2.2 mil, 1.6 mil. Dan, thanks for the 5 gifted. What is going on today? What is going on in this stream? This I don't know what to say. Thanks very much, Dan, for the gifted memberships there. It's very, very generous. Abadi got one. Good to see Abadi get one. He's very active in the streams and comments. George got one. Slaughter got one as well. He's likewise an active commenter and in the streams. And Adam got one. Arteta's son got one. Arteta's son. Can you let us know if Gabriel starts? Like, we're all wondering if Gabriel starts. Can you ask your dad? Ask Mikel if he starts. Do us all a favour. Tube shots with the 10 gifted. I'm not even going to get a chance to talk FPL at this rate. Tube, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. For the 10 gifted. If you guys got gifted a membership just now, make sure you thank whoever gave those to you. Whether it was Dan, Tube, Sean, whoever gifted the memberships. Uwarika got one. Faith and Fun, Christian, Vignesh, Abbas, Mohit. Good to see the teddy emojis from Sean, by the way. He's around. He's asleep at the moment. Jota got one. Aaron got one. Session Source got one. Session Source, what a username. Sponge Babe says, I dodged the memberships like dodgeballs. Sorry, I've still got the schedule up. Let me go back to this. I was so distracted. Best captain pick. Let's do a captain poll, shall we? Who's your captain for Gameweek 15? So we'll go Haaland, we'll go Salah. I guess we'll go Son as the third. It could be Saka, and then other. So if you voted for other, let us know in chat. Bosh, get your votes in. Yeah, thanks very much again for that, Tube Shots. A few Saka captains in the chat. That's interesting. I don't hate it. I just think Salah... I'm not moving off Salah myself. I'm pretty set on that. Jesus captain. Jurgen's Red Army's on Trent. No bias there from Jurgen's Red Army. Juan captain. Sean with the 5 gifted as well. This stream is crazy. I've never had a stream like this ever. Thanks very much for the gifted memberships again, Sean. Sam got one. The Danster got one. Archie. Lamplot, and Danny C got one. Good to see Danny got one. Danny's, again, a very active commenter in the stream, so nice one, Danny. I wonder if it, like, allocates people to who are active in streams and comments, because that seems to happen a lot, which is pretty cool if that's how YouTube does it. I know there's a lot of you that never comment in these streams or videos, and that's fine. That's no problem at all. I won't hold it against you. I had one today, actually, and someone said, I've never commented on your videos before, but they said something like, just want to say thank you for the videos and the tight turnaround. Something like that. It was a nice comment. So shout out to that guy for leaving his first comment. Raya captain. Surely not. I don't know if I'll ever captain a goalkeeper. Maybe in a double game week. Very specific circumstance. But not in a single game week. I know, Ahmed. It's crazy. Henny Monkey in the chat says, oh, I watch all your videos. The GOAT. Thanks for that. Tube Shots, thanks for the super chat as well. Salah midweek looks unavoidable. I agree with that. I mean, if we look at the projected points, FPL reviews heavily favouring Salah this week. They've got him on 8.1, and then it's Son on 6.6. Hull on 6.4. Saka's up there. Trent, Darwin. Obviously, Darwin's minutes are the big question mark. They've got him on 69 minutes, so if he starts, it's realistic that he comes off around then, but does he start? It was very divided in the poll earlier. It was like 54% yes, 46% no. Odegaard, Martinelli, Gabriel, Luis Diaz also up there, but when we look at goal scorer odds, they're actually tied. Salah and Haaland, 52% chance of scoring any time this game week. So, I mean, when it's tied like that, I favour the midfielder because you get the extra point per goal. Midfielders get 5 points for a goal, forwards get 4, and obviously Salah could get a clean sheet point as well. So, Enshock, thanks for the super chat. Sending some love your way, little man. Thanks very much for that, Enshock. Thanks for sending love over. Sending some back, mate. Appreciate that. Thanks for all the love in this stream. What a stream so far. Clean sheet odds, asked Mars and Razvan. The clean sheet odds for this week are as follows. Arsenal top. Who's got an Arsenal defender playing tonight? Please. Need a clean sheet. I can't take a late clean sheet wipeout like the Wolves game. Arsenal 51% chance. Liverpool a second, 42.5%. And then it's actually Fulham, then Wolves, then Palace, then Brighton. There's no way. Brighton, I don't see it. Rock bottom, Sheffield United, 6%. 6% chance of a clean sheet. Luton 8.5 against Arsenal tonight. I read an interesting stat earlier. Arsenal's last 10 visits to Kenilworth Road, they haven't won. Obviously, that's over a very, very long run of time because they've not been in the Prem. So nothing to read into really, but an interesting stat. Shane's doubled up 2 Arsenal defenders. It's a great looking week if you've got the double up. I know quite a few of you have got Gabriel. I've got Saliba. Some Bright owners. Ben White will start tonight. I don't think Tomiyasu will start. Zinchenko getting benched, asked Alex. I don't see it. I would say Zinchenko starts as well. Because Tomiyasu, I expect, doesn't. And he's the other one that could play there. Lucas says, I just watched your Glasto vlog. Should I start Cheryl Palmer? I didn't think anyone knew about that Glasto vlog. Because I never really advertised it. I'm really gutted. I didn't get tickets this year. I'm desperate to go. I'm going to try on the resale. Start Cheryl Palmer. I think I'd start Palmer between those. Marcus, thanks for the 16 months. Start Adingra or Palmer. I would start Palmer between those two. Sam, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. Is this a wind-up? What is going on in this stream? Thank you so much for that, Sam. Who got those? Relax and Chill got one. David, Danny, Connor, and Podu. If any of you got a membership off Sam there, make sure you thank him. Thanks for that, Sam Chapman. What a legend. Thank you, mate. Zinchenko or Cash? Zinchenko, Christian, all day. Gordon updates. We don't really have much of an update. However, I do have this update, which is as follows. He was spotted in training on Sky Sports News earlier today. So I'd take that as quite promising news. He looks a lot more assured. for a start than he did after the update last match, I would say. So, captain poll, 76% Salah, 14% Haaland, 6% Son, 4% other. I'm going to chuck another poll at you. And it's all about the man of the week. The poll is, have you bought Dubravka? Scrolling on Twitter earlier, I think his ownership's about to overtake Haaland, but I don't think so. Get your votes in on that. Have you bought him? So if anyone missed it, I've bought him. I sold Areola last night. Originally, I was going to go for the Areola and Dubravka rotation. It's a bit risky, but I've sold Areola, so he's my only keeper now. But it potentially lets me keep Gordon, which is why I did that. But yeah, the next few weeks really need to be sharp transfers. I may sell Simicast in game week 17. I'm looking at Colwell. And I may sell Kabore for Livramento, which I couldn't have done if I'd sold Turner instead. So that's where I'm at with that. Meatceptions buying after today's deadline. Fair play. Hi Jay, yeah, I'm better. I'm still not quite there, but I'm feeling way better than I was on Saturday's stream. I don't know if how many of you tune into that stream as well, but that was a struggle. You were watching a man on his knees struggling there. That sounded terrible. Darwin captain. I wouldn't captain Darwin. We don't even know for sure that he starts. I would avoid captaining Darwin. I'd go Salah. Salah, Heartland. If you want to go a bit more differential, Saka or Son. No, I didn't see the Euros draw. Sylvester in the chat, how we doing, mate? I was telling my brother about your channel, because he plays old school RuneScape still. He said he'd heard of you. Rahul reckons Son's the best captain. I don't hate it. He's like massive differential captain. Like, we're all well aware of West Ham's ability to keep a clean sheet, and they're home to West Ham. Neville says you did great, Oscar. I wouldn't have got out of bed. Yeah, I was struggling. But I'm on the mend. It's all good now. Modi says, Salah on the captain, even in my sleep. I just think it's too obvious this week. I'm really surprised people are saying there's a chance he doesn't start. He definitely starts. Emma asks, Alvarez or Gordon? No Haaland, so I've got FOMO. I think Gordon. I'd say Gordon. Like, we've got that update that he's in training early today. He's up against his old team. I know his away record's not as good, but I think Gordon just edges it over Alvarez. You know, Villa away's no easy fixture, so I would say Gordon. But yeah, no Haaland's not ideal. Are you buying him back, or what's your plan there? Is there anyone out there anyone else not own Haaland still? And what's your plan? Are you buying him back? I mean, he's got Luton like next weekend. Wachter says, thoughts on YouTube unskippable ads? That's an interesting question. Because on the one hand, the only reason I can make videos full time is because of ads, but unskippable ones are annoying. So it's a difficult one to answer. Like, I know YouTube have got the... has anyone here actually got YouTube Premium? That lets you, like, watch everything, any channel without ads? Or do you, like, use ad blockers? I mean, that's the solution, isn't it? You just get an ad blocker, but then I don't get a penny from your views. Yeah, it's a difficult one. I see both sides of it. Like, from my perspective, it allows me to make videos full time, because that's completely like where you get income from. People watching videos that watch ads before. Quite a lot of YouTube Premium people. That's interesting. But it's a bit annoying that they're I think YouTube have like blocked ad blockers on Chrome or something like that, right? But yeah, I get it from like a viewer perspective. Like, they're annoying, aren't they? But then, like, it's It's the only way to get income, besides like memberships as well. That's the other thing. Arteta's son says premium is 100% worth it. I don't watch TV. I watch football on YouTube. Ad block all the time. Right, I found the ad blockers. I think there's a feature, you know, where you can disable ad blockers for specific channels. I wouldn't dare ask you to do that, but I think that is a feature. You get 5 users for £22 YouTube Premium. Not bad. I don't even have Premium myself, actually. But yeah, the ads are annoying. I don't think anyone will say they're not. Mohit says, bench Taylor, share Porro, Palmer or Diaby. You bench Taylor. Hang on, so how many do you have to bench? You'd bench Taylor, and I'd bench Diaby. So share Porro, Palmer, start those. Unless you're saying you have to bench all but one. Then I guess you start Porro or Palmer. Definitely don't start Taylor or Diaby. Use the Brave browser. I need to look into how that works. Darley says, what did your Spotify Wrapped look like? This is funny. So I used to love Spotify Wrapped because it like shows everything you listen to over the year and your top music and so on. But now mine is just the playlist you're listening to right now. It's like you loved Stream Beats. You're in the top 1% of global listeners of Stream Beats. So mine's like a bit dead now. I don't get like as much out of it, sadly. I think I was in the top 1% of Kygo listeners. I can't remember the rest though. Maguire, Taylor, Archer, bench order. Taylor, Maguire, Archer. Bench Watkins or Adingra? Adingra. Thoughts on Erdegaard? I think there's better picks. I don't hate him. Like last season he was phenomenal. But I would say there's better picks. Obviously Saka's like the clear better pick. And if you can find a bit extra money, you know, Son. I think Gordon for cheaper is better value for money. Don't hate it though. Obviously great fixture tonight. So, scout selection. We've got an hour till the deadline. Here is the best team they've picked for game week 15. They've gone for... let us know in chat, by the way. How many players have you got from the scout selection? They've got Keller in goal. They've got Trippier, Saliba and Dawson. In midfield, Salah, Son, Erdegaard, Mbumo and Hwang. They've got Haaland captain. And João Pedro. So that person who was asking earlier about João Pedro. The scout thinks he starts. I think he does as well. Sam's got 6. Evan and Matty's got 4. Luna's got 3. Chess Wizard's got 4. So's Chris. How many have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've gone for Erdegaard. Interesting. H Monkey, Salah triple captain. Not for me. I do get it. Like it's a fixture with goals written all over it, but for me, I'll always use it in the double game week because you get 2 rolls of the dice, so to speak. Haaland versus Pau Torres, easy, says AB. Emma's got 5, Taylor's got 3. Start Udogie or Mitchell. Pretty close one that. Let me check what the clean sheet odds say. I'm thinking Mitchell. Did you say Mitchell? 31.5% chance for Palace. Spurs have a 27.5%. So yeah, start Mitchell. Did you say Mitchell or Guay? Todd's got 5 from the scout selection. Yeah, pretty solid team. They've doubled up on Wolves. Obviously, Burnley 5-0 win to Sheffield United, but I think they lose this one to Wolves. I think Hwang's a great pick for this one. And I think he's got Forest home, another home fixture on the weekend as well. Yeah, Wolves defence nice as well. Razvan, thanks for the 10 months. Start Gueye or Lascelles or bench Simicast for Gueye. No, I'd start Simicast. You have to start him if you've got him, in my eyes. So it's Gueye or Lascelles. Close one. Probably Gueye. I think I'd start Guay. I mean, he's home to Bournemouth. Lascelles is away to Everton. I'd like to think Newcastle give a clean sheet, but maybe it's not as likely. What are the clean sheet odds like for Newcastle? Yeah, 27.5% chance for Newcastle, 31.5% for Palace. So I would favour the clean sheet odds there. In that case, and start Guay. You got 10 players from the scout selection. Fair play. Will Gordon start? I think he will. I think he will start. We had this update early today. Gordon was spotted in training on Sky Sports News. Interestingly, Trippier wasn't on the training pitch this morning, but again, they reported that there's no major concerns and he was getting treatment indoors. Stream's frozen. Is it back now? It's alright for me. Is the stream alright? Let me know if it's frozen or anything like that. Might have dropped out. It's back. Okay, sorry about that. Don't know what happened there. Son and Adingra to Erdegaard and Mbumo. I wouldn't make that move. I don't know why I'd want to sell Son. He's done nothing to justify selling him. And he's home to West Ham. I mean, look at his next 5. Newcastle, obviously, that's hard, but it is home. Forest, Everton, Brighton. I would not be selling Son under any circumstance right now. FPL Journey to 10k, how we doing? He says, how do mate? Love a midweek game week. Yeah, actually, let's end that poll. So 48% have bought Dubravka, 52% haven't. 48% of you have bought Dubravka. What on earth? Right, so the poll is, do you like midweek game weeks? Or do you prefer it when you've got like a week between to weigh up your decisions, look at the right move to make, digest everything that's going on? Or do you like the chaos? Like it's less than 2 hours since less than 2 days since Game Week 14 wrapped up, and now we're under an hour away from Game Week 15. So do you guys like it when there's midweek game weeks? Bench 1, Simicast or Alvarez or Reese? Or I think Reese. I feel like Man United probably score. Like they're playing at home against Chelsea. So reluctantly Reese, start Simicast and Alvarez. You love the chaos. Immortal loves it as well. Mikhail says chaos and more footy in it. Exactly that. Favourite Kygo tune? Good question. At the moment it's probably Never Really Loved Me. The one with Dean Lewis. Woke Up in Love is good. Firestone's good. I like his remixes as well though. I've been listening to his old remixes. Cash or Charlie Taylor start? I think you have to start Taylor in that circumstance. I mean, Villa are playing City. There's just no way of a clean sheet. You're completely hoping for an attack and return. I mean, Burnley probably concede as well. I think there's no clean sheets there, to be honest. Show us your Spotify Wrapped. I don't know if I can do it on... can you do it on desktop? Like I said earlier, my Spotify Wrapped was not interesting because it was... the stream playlist wasn't my top artist because I obviously play this playlist so much that I pump through hours and hours of listening to this stream playlist. Yeah, Firestone's a classic. Any leaks for Arsenal? Nothing. I don't know if we'll get anything for Arsenal, but obviously if we do, I'll keep checking in the background. I'll be very surprised. I don't think we ever get Arsenal. So 79% of you like the midweek game weeks, 21% don't. Interesting. Yeah, lots of action this week. So tonight we've got Wolves v Burnley, Luton v Arsenal. Tomorrow is going to be great. Let me just pull it up here actually. So we got 6 games tomorrow. Brighton v Brentford. I mean, and they all kick off within like 45 minutes of one another. So yeah, I guess I'll be watching the first half of one and then I'll hop over to the 8:15s. Palace v Bournemouth, Fulham v Forest, Sheffield United v Liverpool, big one. Villa v Man City, Man United versus Chelsea. 6 games tomorrow. It's going to be chaos following that. Right, get your guesses in the chat. I'm going to show you a player who got one of the biggest FPL scores of all time. Can you name the player that achieved this score? And bonus points if you can name the season that they did it. FPL journey to 10k says Darwin to finally boom. You know what? We were talking about him earlier and whether he starts. And it was very divided. 54% said he starts. 46% said he doesn't. So this player got 29 points. I think a lot of you know this one, don't you? Yeah, I think everyone's got it. Pretty much everyone's got it. It was indeed Matty Cash. 29 points he got. And of course, ironically, that same game week, a lot of people went for Luca Digne. And he got something like 7 points. He missed one of the games. And like Cash ended up getting like a brace and a clean sheet. Or 2 clean sheets. Something crazy like that. Coutinho. So, keep your questions coming. If you've enjoyed this stream so far, hit like. Let's get it to 500 likes. How about that for a target? We've got about 50 minutes till the deadline. So, let us know in chat. What's your transfers this week? Are you rolling? Or are you making a transfer? Who are you bringing in? Anyone not bringing in Dubravka? Flavour of the week. Abbas says selling Cash and Adingra to Lascelles and Gordon for a -4. I like it, but just be careful with Lascelles because Botman reportedly back in training. He should be fine for a few game weeks. But something to be mindful of. Man brought in Erdegaard. Sold Rashford for Son. Great move. I like that. Tube Shot says, please like the video, peeps. Thanks, Tube Shots. Always got my back. John says, let's do a poll on how many points hits taken. Yeah, that's a good one, because I know I've seen quite a few hits this week. How many hits have you taken this season? None. -4, -8, and -12 or more. Boom. Get your votes in on that. Archer to Semenyo. That is a luxury transfer personified. Archer to Semenyo. Fair play. I wish I was in a position to be doing that. What about Zinchenko? What about Zinchenko? I expect him to start tonight, if that's what you're asking. Abedi says, review saying Ferguson over Trippier. Do you agree, Oscar? I don't agree with that. I mean, I imagine it must be close. I feel like you don't bench Trippier in any circumstance. Right? Like, if you own Trippier, you have to start him. Like, away to Everton, not the easiest fixture, but it's Trippier. Yeah, I mean, it's probably close. But does Ferguson definitely start? Yeah, I like that transfer, Amari. Livramento to... Cash to Livramento is good. Diaby to Gordon or Palmer. I prefer Gordon. It's close. They're both good. Depends what you can do with the money if you get Palmer as well. But I would say Gordon gets the edge right now. And you can always look to bring in Palmer later. Like when they got Sheffield United in a couple of game weeks. So, 36% have taken no hits, 26% have taken a -4, 14% have taken a -8 in total, 23% of you have taken a -12 or more. A lot of hit takers here. I'm still yet to take one, but I don't know if I'm going to survive this month without a hit, to be honest. I think a lot needs to go right to scrape through this month without my first hit of the season. But yeah, I'm happy with that so far. No hits. Ryan's taken -16 in total. It sounds worse when you say it in total, doesn't it? unless you're on a -16 this week, then yeah, it does sound bad. It's not so bad when you do it spread over game weeks. Starting Nketiah or Gibbs White? I'd start Gibbs White. I'm not sure Nketiah starts. Play Taylor, Mitchell or Pinnock. I would start Mitchell. Start Isak or Darwin. My take on Darwin is if you have him, you have to start him. but obviously we don't know if he starts. That's the question mark. There was a predicted lineup doing the rounds earlier. And Spy on Cop, the Cop HQ, they know their stuff in terms of Liverpool. And they kind of said there is a good chance that this will be the team for Liverpool against Sheffield United. Obviously, it might not be. It's a predicted lineup. Emphasis on predicted. But they've got Keller in goal. Trent, Konate, Van Dijk and Tsimikas. McAllister, Szoboszlai and Jones. Salah, Gakpo and Diaz. So no Darwin there. And the Cop HQ endorsed that. They said there's a good chance that will be the team. And they tweeted below they don't think Darwin starts. But that's just obviously their opinion. Thanks for the super chat, Bang Bang. He says start Alvarez, or what currency is that? IDR. 35,000 IDR. Indonesian rupiah. Anyway, thanks for that. Start Alvarez or Douglas Luiz. I would start Alvarez myself if that was me. I would be starting Alvarez. Lascelles to Livramento. I wouldn't make that move. It's a bit sideways this week. A bit sideways. You know, and there is a chance Hall starts in left back. So I don't think that's a sensible move this week, myself. Tube Shots, thanks for the 5 gifted. Thank you so much for your support this stream. Tube Shots. If you got one of those from him just now, make sure you say thanks. Daniel got one. Enshock. Kazaka got one. Apanator got one. Didn't know you were here. Apanator is having an absolute hell of a season. Let me check where you are at the moment. He's 18k at the moment. He's having an absolute stormer. He's doing the Finnish contingents proud. You're 186th in the Finland rankings. Yeah, fair play. You're having a great season. He's one of the many involved in the expert series. Good to have him. And good to have him here in this stream as well. It's very close at the top of the experts league. There's like 4 or 5 in the top 10k now. I can only dream of catching up with them. I'm at 227k at the moment, so what's your target? What's your rank target for the new year, guys? So let's set rank targets right here on this stream. It's the start of December. There is 6 deadlines in the next 25 days. So let's set some rank targets. So let's verbalize it and write it in chat. What's your rank target by the new year? Realistic. I don't want to hear rank 1. Unless you're top 1k or something, then yeah, fair play. Mikkel, thanks for the super chat. Thanks very much for that. British says, big man focal, yes. Welcome to the stream, British. Top 10k Ibrahim's aiming for. Top 100k for Siri. Hey Siri. Did I just set all your phones off? Oh, I just set mine off. Don't worry, Siri. Shut up. Do you want to see something cool? Hey Siri, turn all the lights off. Hey Siri, turn all the lights on. Bosh. Well done, Siri. Top 1 mil for British. Top 5k for Ben. Fair play. Isaac's phone went off. Hey, hey Alexa. Didn't work. Damn it. Ewan wants top 100k. Start Pinnacle Souček. Probably Souček. They might struggle with his physical presence without Rodri. Pretty close. Probably Souček. Astro says Walker, Visser, Mitchell, bench order, no Haaland. I would go Visser, Mitchell, and then Walker. Visser, Mitchell, Walker. No Alexa, big bro. Fair enough. Top 100k Raymond's aiming for. Thanks for the super chat. Andre he says Palmer, Ward-Prowse, Simicast, bench 1. Cheers, lad. It's got to be Ward-Prowse, I think. I'm really expecting Palmer to start. I'll be incredibly surprised if he doesn't. So start Palmer. You have to start Simicast. I know he's not like guaranteed to start, but you have to. Your mate copies content creator templates every single week or wildcard. Should he have an additional forfeit in our mini league for being a shithouse? Yeah, I think he should. Like, if he's literally copying move for move. But I think where you've gone wrong there is you need to establish rules before the season that you can't copy. What was that tool? Someone made a tool that finds your like what was it? Set out. He made a tool that basically finds the correlation between you and content creators if you're copying their team. The FPL similarity tool, that was it. So let me see. I've chucked mine in, my ID. Yeah, if you guys want to do it, that's the link. You basically chuck an ID in there and it compares you to content creators. So if like... So mine it excludes yourself. So my closest resemblance is Andy, FPL mode. That's what it looks like. It's quite cool. So what you should do is chuck your mate's ID in. And if it says like team similarity 100%, then he's an absolute sweat. Like kick him out of the league. Or maybe you should have established that rule before the season started. But yeah, it's quite a cool tool. With the £1.99 super chat, bench Sterling or Darwin? I think you have to start Darwin. It's kind of the recurring theme of this stream. If you've got Darwin and Simicast, you have to start them. Like, imagine you bench them trying to be clever, and then they start and haul. Like, you have to. Faith and Fun says, how do you become an expert? Do you mean this series? Basically, what I did was, I just decided to set minimum rank requirements to limit how much comes in, and obviously to try and improve the quality of the data. So the minimum requirements were 2 top 10k finishes or 5 top 100ks. That seemed to be the sweet spot because there's like 200 or so managers involved, which isn't too much and not too little, if you see what I mean. So the data's like really, really good that comes out of that series. So thank you all of you if you watch that. Oh, sorry, Mikkel. 2 seconds. Let me hop over to there. Hydration check. Right. Mikkel says he's ranked 2.7k, but he still has the wildcard. Help, he says. If I had the wildcard still, I think it's pretty straightforward. You get into game week 18, you dead end your team. So like by dead end, I mean sell players that blank. So you sell Haaland that week. Like, what's his price right now? It hasn't even gone up. So like you could sell Haaland and you don't lose money on that. Maybe selling Bumo. And then you wildcard game week 19 and get all the players you drop straight back in and refresh your team for that fixture run there onwards. And there is also a chance we get double game week 20 announced this week. Or it could be in game week 21. So you'll also have a big edge there if that double gets announced, because you can prepare for that way better than anyone else. So that's what I would do. When does AFCON start? I think it's mid-January. AFCON date. The first fixture's on the 13th of Jan. But obviously they'll leave a few days before that to join up with the squads and train. So yeah, ideally we need it to be in game week 20 for us and Boomer owners. Because game week 21, where it could also go, he'll be away at AFCON. It could be in game week 24 or 25, a bit later as well. So hopefully we get that double game week announced. That'd be exciting. On top of a crazy week of FPL, like imagine if they dropped the double game week 20 announcement. So that's what I would do if I still had my wildcard. How many wildcards this season? 2. 1 for each half of the season. Last season was different because we had the World Cup, so they gave everyone unlimited transfers. So it's kind of like having 3 wildcards. But back to normality this one. Until 2034, wherever it is, when Saudi Arabia hosts the World Cup. I guess that's going to be a Winter World Cup again. But that's 11 years away. I don't know where we'll all be then in 11 years. Maybe I'll still be making FPL content. Who knows? Do you guys plan to play FPL forever, or are you getting sick of it, or do you think one day you'll grow out of it? We'll do a poll on that. kind of crazy to imagine, isn't it? Like I absolutely love FPL, so I can't see myself ever stopping. And it's a game for everyone. Like I know, like when I look at my YouTube demographics or analytics, it's really spread in terms of the age ranges that tune in, which is really cool. So, for example, we go to audience. So the most popular age bracket of my viewers is 25 to 34 years old. Who's in that bracket? 25 to 34 years old. But for example, 1.3% are over 65. 3% are aged 55 to 64. So I'd like to think that's me. 30 years from now. Still playing FPL. Don't know if I'll be doing videos and content still, but we'll see. I'd like to think I'll be doing this forever, because I love it. Kasim says, bench Darwin or Kudus. I've got Haaland and Alvarez. Yeah, again, like I think you have to play Darwin if you've got him. It's one of those, like you could try and be too clever and be like, he's going to bench Darwin. I'm personally not totally convinced Darwin starts. I think there's actually a likely chance he doesn't. But it's one of those, like imagine you bench him and he goes off on a big one. Like this game could easily end 5-0. Like Burnley just put 5 past Sheffield United. What are Liverpool going to do? If Burnley can score 5, then Liverpool should score 6. Obviously, it's not going to play out like that, but it could do. It's 50-50. I agree with that. Yeah, it's 50-50. Oblivious says, thoughts on Cash and Foster to Porro and Semenyo from -4. I don't mind that, you know. I think that's actually a reasonable transfer. That hit should be repaid. Like, Cash has to go. He's got City home, Arsenal home. Could be no clean sheets there. I know he could be handy for a team, but I quite like those moves. And obviously, Semenyo is very handy for Blank Gaming 18 when Brentford and Haaland don't play. Pajizzle says, did Oscar explain why he sold Areola rather than Turner? Yeah, so basically, I did originally look at going Turner to Dubravka because he rotates nice with Areola. But the problem with that was, it basically locked me into selling Gordon for Palmer. And, you know, on Gordon's current form, I've got to keep him. I don't want to be selling Gordon if I can help it. So then I looked at it and I was like, if I sell Areola, that excuse me, that frees up 0.3 mil. So I could sell Simicast to someone like Colwill, maybe when he's got Man United, and I'd still have money to move Kabore to a 4.5 mil defender. So that was my thinking. It is a risk. It's a calculated risk. Don't get me wrong. It could backfire. They could sign a keeper. Newcastle fans think he's good enough to be the number 1. So it's a little bit of a risk. It's a calculated one because it lets me keep Gordon. And that was ultimately it. Like Areola versus Gordon. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? That's what I thought anyway. But yeah, sometimes you have to take calculated risks in FPL. It could backfire. I'll talk more about it in my next team selection video. I guess that'll be Friday. If anyone's not subscribed, make sure you hit subscribe. In fact, 40% of you aren't, so what are you doing? Join the 60% of us that are subscribed. Juice have joined at the worst time. I'm just pumping. I'm just trying to get them to subscribe to the channel. Juice, thanks for the £4.99 super chat. I hope you're having a good stream if you're doing the deadline stream today. And sorry I can't be there for when you pick the players. But I hope you're having a good stream there to everyone over at Juice. I don't know who's live today. I've got to be careful because last time I didn't shout out all the people that were actually live and they gave me stick for that. So hang on, let me go over there now. So we've got Lucky Pluckers live. Mo's live? No, James is live. I just got Mo and James mixed up. No offense. Who else is live? Is Ash or Nick there? Where are they? Is it just those two? Where is everyone? They're not showing up. Alright. Well, we'll head over to your stream afterwards, so thank you for that. Thanks for the super chat there. Trophy in the chat, there he is. Sorry, Mo. Sorry, mate. I had it like really small. I couldn't see who it was. I was just reading through, like scrolling on the wheel. And all I saw was like someone that's bald. I didn't realise it was James. John's rechecked his rank. He's 198 It's not 198k, it's 147k. Fair play, it's a good rank this early. Thoughts on Timo? Love Timo, yeah. I'm looking, so going back to what I was saying earlier, by going Ariel to Dubravka, I can afford to sell Cabore to Livramento, so I'm actually eyeing up that move myself. Watch Carrier start. Don't even say that, Tristiano. I'm not having it. I think the fact that Dubravka came off the bench says it all. Like, he's clearly Pope's backup. That would be an absolute facepalm if like Carrier starts. But no, I'm confident in Dubravka. I just think he's such a gift for 4 mil. Absolute no-brainer to have him. Big Nesh says, really love the content focal. Thanks for that, Big Nesh. So we've got half an hour till the deadline. Keep your questions coming in. We've got another game here. Can you name the player that got 24 points? Now this one's harder. We're in hard mode now. Most of you got the cash one, but can you name the player that got 24 points? Any major news so far? Yeah, what we'll do, Tasia, we'll do another roundup of all the news in a second for anyone that's joined late, and just a refresher in case anyone missed the news. All the bits and bobs from today's press conferences, and another bits and bobs, because obviously some press conferences we don't have till tomorrow. Townsend, Benteke, Puncheon, Edouard. It's a tough one. It's none of these, not Zaha. A couple of you have got it. Scourgeman's got it. James has got it. The answer was Balassi, and this is crazy. This was in the 2014-15 season. Game week 32, single game week, and he got an 11-minute hat-trick against Sunderland. So well done if you got Balassi. That was a hard one. 11-minute hat-trick. Leno to Dubravka -4. No, not worth it. Not worth a -4. So, do you ever plan to quit FPL? 31% do, 69% don't. There we go. 69% in it for life. Son or Trippier? Son, I suppose. Has to be Son. He's now at Swansea. Oh, I think I heard about that. Wasn't he a free agent? Just going to check out this link from Flandy on Simicast. What have we got here? Is this reliable? Who's this? I don't know if that's reliable. Simicast starts. I don't know if that's reliable, Flandy. I can't vouch for them, but interesting that they say that. Because the game's tomorrow. For some reason your polls don't appear in my live chat anymore. Any idea why? No, I'm not sure. Anyone else got that issue? Callan's stream's a bit behind. It says Puncheon. It was Balassi. Well done if you... I was going to say well done if you got it. You didn't get it. Carrier starts. Not having it. Yeah, that's a wind-up. Like, no one knows if Simicast starts. I should have checked that before I pulled it up. The game's not till tomorrow. How to make the FPL website look like yours. There's no easy way. There's a browser add-on called... is it Stylish? Stylus. And it lets you modify the appearance of web pages. So my IT degree finally coming in handy for something. I basically edited the layout. This is what it looks like normally. Looks a bit more bland, so I just tweaked it to make it look a bit cleaner for the stream setup. And there's also the dark one that I use in the experts video, which is that. But yeah, it's called Stylus. It's a browser add-on for Firefox or Chrome. But I wrote the code myself. Brian Morrissey says, Captain Balassi that game, no jokes. Are you joking? Fair play if you're not. Balassi captain for a hat-trick in 11 minutes. Outrageous. Does look a lot clean. Yeah, I think it looks nice like that. Oh, actually I need to scroll down. There we go, like that. It's a bit better. Up a bit. Perfect. Is the heir to Newcastle true? I think that's all rumours and speculation. I wouldn't be surprised if at minimum they give Dubravka the next month or so, and just see how he fares and then make a call. Right, yeah, so we'll go back through the news roundup for anyone that's tuning in late or wants a refresh on all the bits from today, because there's quite a lot. Starting with Newcastle, and for those that were asking just now about Gordon, he was spotted in training on Sky Sports News earlier. Trippier wasn't on the training pitch this morning. Sky reporting that there was no major concerns, and he was getting treatment indoors. Botman's scheduled to be back in training. He was scheduled to come back in training yesterday, so something to be aware of if you've got Lascelles. I think you'll be fine for another couple of game weeks or so. And Nkunku won't be ready for this game week. Likewise, Lavia. Gallagher suspended. Reece James is back from suspension this week. Man City news, Grealish and Rodri are suspended, and Guardiola couldn't comment on Doku's fitness. He came off against Spurs. Nunez was described as weeks or days away from return. He remains a doubt for the trip to Villa Park. John Stones, unused substitute the last 3 matches, is fit and available. I wonder if he comes in, because they're going to be missing Rodri. Mitoma is going to be assessed tomorrow to determine whether he can start after his fitness-led bench in Gameweek 14. March, Welbeck and Cisse Webster, Estupinian, Fati and Lamptey are out, and then Dunk and Dahoud remain suspended. So could be good news for us and Boomer owners. And Heckingbottom is the first manager of the 23-24 season to be relieved of his duties. He's been sacked, and Chris Wilder is the new manager of Sheffield United. Liverpool news. Klopp's unsure how long Matip's going to be sidelined, but added it doesn't look good. Jota and Alisson remain out. The goalkeeper's closer to a return of the two. So, I do wonder if Matip's injury could actually be good news for Tsimikas' chances, because Konate presumably starts the centre-back, so Klopp might want to have Gomez on the bench as a bit of depth in centre-back, you know, rather than starting Gomez and left-back with all his centre-backs on the pitch, if you see what I mean. But yeah, it's a close one. Again, if you've got Tsimikas and Darwin, you have to start them. There is chances that they're bench, but you have to start them with such a good fixture. Yeah, Kwanzaa's could start as well, I know. I feel like it's less likely, but it could happen. Solanke, Jackson or Cunha? Solanke. Start Solanke or Gordon? I think Gordon. Yeah, I'd say Gordon. Start Watkins or Udogie? Watkins. Palmer or Ferguson? Palmer. No, nothing on Arsenal, Teddy man. I don't know if we'll get any leaks on Arsenal. We don't tend to get any, but I'll keep an eye out. Bench Palmer or Watkins? I don't know if you can bench Watkins in a home fixture. I feel like you start Watkins there. Gabriel Mitchell. Gabriel. I know, like, Gabriel's the same as Tsimikas and Darwin, really. You have to start him. I know there's a small chance he doesn't start, but like they're comfortably top of the clean sheet odds this week. Oh, wrong animation. That's a cool one. I forgot I had that. All right. Arsenal 51% chance of a clean sheet. Liverpool 42.5. Fulham 37.5. Wolves 36. Thanks for the super chat, Pat. He says, Fleck and Areola to Dubravka if Fleck can afford Saka next week. Yeah, I think Flecken to Dubravka is what I do there. Yeah, do Flecken to Dubravka. And if that tees you up for Saka, then I like that a lot. Tsimikas or Mitchell? Tsimikas. Trent captaincy over Salah. In my opinion, Salah is the best captain this week. I don't think it's nearly as close as previous weeks. FPL review projections are as follows. They've got Salah top of 8.1. Then it's Son 6.6, Haaland 6.4, Saka, Trent. Trent's up there, but you know he's what 2.3 projected points behind Salah. I just think it's got to be Salah if you've got him. But we'll do a final captain poll in a sec to see if anyone disagrees with that. How are you spending Christmas? Probably the usual. I go around the families, open presents, Christmas dinner, see my girlfriend in the evening. Stephen Henderson, start 2 of Gordon, Prado. Who's Prado? Watkins and Palmer. Who's Prado, guys? I think I'd start Gordon, and I don't know who Prado is, but I think I'd start Watkins. I feel like you can't bench Watkins in a home fixture against a City team that are looking much more leaky. They don't have Rodri. Oh, Pedro. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Watkins and Gordon. It's pretty close, but I'd go Watkins, Gordon. João Pedro first on bench, then Palmer. Thanks, Finnis. Goat, he says. Dave with the super chat. -4 to do Alvarez to Haaland. Yay or nay, Salah captain. I think it's probably worth it. I just think at this point you can't go without Haaland much longer. I think it's fine to take a hit for Haaland. Like, he's going to be the top scorer, goal scorer this season. In terms of points, it'll be close, him or Salah. Maybe Haaland because of AFCON for Salah. I think that's fine for -4. It could backfire, but at least you can sleep easy that you own Haaland, if you see what I mean. It'd just be too stressful. I did know Haaland last season, and it was just so stressful. It worked for a while, and then it didn't. Bolivia, start Palmer or Pedro Porro. I genuinely have no idea. Yeah, that's a super close one. Palmer or Pedro Porro. What do you guys think about that one? Palmer or Pedro Porro? It feels like a coin toss, to be honest with you. I would just go with your gut on that one. I think Pedro Porro just edges it. Spurs have got Romero back this week. I'd say Pedro Porro just about. Hey Levent, how we doing? Welcome to the stream. Novus, thanks for the 14 months. Is Areola injured? Why did you swap him to Dubravka? The reason was, so originally it was going to be Turner to Dubravka, but I looked at it, and if I sell Areola, I've got enough money to keep hold of Gordon, and that was the problem I had. If I'd gone the other route, I would have had to sell Gordon because I need money to upgrade Kabore and Tsimikas. But by doing it that way, I can sell Tsimikas and Kabore for 4.5 mil defenders. So I'm looking at Colwell, Livramento, something like that. And I couldn't have afforded that if I'd done it the other way, unless I sold Gordon for Palmer. To be fair, like Palmer could smash it. But I think it's going to be good to have Gordon for these fixtures. Fulham home, Luton away, Forest home. That's such a nice block of 3 fixtures I would have had to sell him for. But obviously it's a bit risky. You know, like Newcastle could sign a goalkeeper. I feel like Dubravka's good enough that they're going to just keep it. But we'll see what happens. They might give him the next month and then make a call in January. So that was why I've done that. It's a bit risky. It's a calculated risk. It could go wrong, but that's why I've done it. Rahim says, any Doku news? Gross is my alternate. You'd probably start him if you got him. I think he plays or doesn't at all. No updates though. Pep Guardiola couldn't comment on Doku's fitness after the winger came off against Spurs. So we just don't know, basically, is the answer, unfortunately. I feel like you start him if Gross is your alternative, though. You start him and he probably doesn't play, or he starts, because Grealish is out. Right, so we've got 20 minutes till the deadline. Keep your questions coming in. Let me check I didn't miss any more super chats, because I tend to. Start 2 of... I did that one. Yeah, I think we're all good. Perfect. No Doku. Speak of the devil, we've just had a tweet from FPL Main Road. No Doku, so now you've got the answer. We'll keep an eye out in case he adds to that tweet, because sometimes people ask him, what about this player? And then he follows it up, but he says no Doku. So there you go, that's the answer. No Doku this game week. He's out. Or it could mean doesn't start, actually. It's not clear. I'll keep that open in the background and refresh in case of other City news, but I think City's lineup's pretty predictable other than that. I guess Foden down the left because Grealish is out. So I'll retweet that. I'll keep an eye out for leaks as well. I don't know if we'll get any. don't tend to get any for Arsenal, but we've just had one on City, so we'll keep an eye for anything else there. 15 minutes till deadline, so not long to go. FPL Tony also says, if you've got Doku in your teams, I suggest selling. Sounds like he's injured completely, won't be in the squad. No Doku, good for Haaland. Fair point, yeah. He's a really like greedy player. Like, he's absolutely quality, like, make no mistake. Great footballer, but he is greedy. He often tends to look for the shot. Thanks, Philandy. Yeah, he tends to look for the shot rather than picking out a player. We saw it last match. As soon as Grealish came on, the first chance he had to either take a shot or cross it, he went for the cross, looking for Haaland. Didn't quite find him, but they're totally different players and what they bring to the team, which is good for Pep Guardiola as well, because they've got different strengths and weaknesses. Austin's on Saka captain, so let's do a final captain poll. Who is your captain for Gameweek 15? Saka, Salah, Haaland, or other? And if you vote for other, let us know in chat. Boom. The poll is up. Final captain poll. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, Grealish is suspended as well, yeah. So Foden left wing, I suppose. Bernardo Silva right wing. Yeah, so we've had that. No Doku. If there's anything else, I'll let you know. But that it looks like all we've got. We've got Flandy keeping an eye on leaks in the background for us, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Thoughts on King Kai captain? That's... Nah, surely not. We don't even know he's 100% starts. It could be Trossard. So, I don't rate that at all. Stephen says I'm pretty tired. Deadline's almost here, Stephen, then you can have a power nap. Start Udogie or Douglas Luiz? Probably Udogie. Pretty close, that one. Probably Udogie. I think we could see a better Spurs defence now Romero's back. Like Davies and Emerson, centre-back pairing. Just not great. Romero's big, and he's back now from suspension. João Pedro Cunha. For this week, probably Cunha. And João Pedro, like, he's not nailed, so I would have to say Cunha. Home to Burnley. Good fixture, that, for Wolves. And then they got Forest home, I think, game week 16 on the weekend. And she's on Cooley captain. That is bold. Cooley's a weird one. Like, he's such a great footballer. Like, you watch him, he's really quality, but he's just not doing the points recently. Or last season, really. When he signed on loan, he was unbelievable. I owned him then, and he was great, but yeah, not been delivering the FPL points anyway. I actually prefer Johnson to Cooley as an FPL asset, and he's quite a bit cheaper. I think he's like 5.8. By Gordon or Hwang? I think it's got to be Gordon between the two. White starting. Yeah, I do expect White to start. I'm pretty confident in that. Nunez or Gakpo? I would avoid both. They're going to be rotated. I would avoid both. Will Gordon start? I believe he will, yeah. The latest update from this morning was that he was spotted in training. So I expect he will start. He's certainly a hold. Like, he definitely don't sell. He's a reluctant buy, but I think he's okay to buy as well. Bench one of Gordon, Sterling and Mbumo. I think it'd have to be Sterling. Excuse me, sorry. Michael, thanks for the super chat. Start Palmer or Tsimikas? Oh, it's a close one as well. I really do think if you got Tsimikas and Darwin, you have to start them. Because Liverpool have got such good clean sheet odds. Oh, Stones starts. There we go. Stones starts. That's what I said that just now. I said I reckon Stones will come in because Rodri's out. So Stones will start for Man City. Doku's out. I mean, it's irrelevant from FPL because no one's got Stones, but yeah, I did suspect that would be the case. I guess if you're playing draft, you could waver in Stones. Will Trippier start? He should do. But there was that update just now that he wasn't on the training pitch. He was indoors getting treatment, but no major concerns was what was said. Yeah, City play tomorrow, but we've got a leak from FPL Main Road, who is reliable, never been wrong for City. He says no Doku, and he says Stones starts. Simicast or Mitchell? Simicast. I just think you have to start these guys if you've got them. Like Gabriel, Simicast, Darwin. Don't get me wrong, like there's going to be unexpected benchings, but what if there's not? We don't know where they're going to come from 100%. You know, you could argue that Gakpo suits the Palace fixture more, and then Darwin could start this one. So I feel like you just have to start these players if you got them. Take it on the chin. Like everyone's going to have random benchings this week, so you just got to ride it out. Lascelles or James? I'd say James. You've got to chase the upside there. Yeah, I'd start James instead of Gross as well. I think I'd start Simicast over Palmer. Just about. Colwell or Cucurella? Colwell. Absolutely Colwell. Might not be completely nailed. I'm going to see how that one plays out over the next couple of weeks, but definitely Colwell. I would not be buying Cucurella. Lascelles or Watkins? Watkins. Alvarez or Watkins? Watkins. Lascelles or Pinnock? That's a close one. Probably Lascelles. Let's check the clean sheet odds. What was it? Lascelles or Pinnock? Newcastle 27.5% chance. Where's Brentford? 17%. So Lascelles. Yeah, I'm not feeling as confident about Pinnock this week, and I'm a bit annoyed he conceded last week. Look, 0.23 expected goals conceded. That was the best of Game Week 14, so I was kind of counting on a clean sheet there. And that transfer is a bit scuffed now, but it might still come good. They do have Sheffield United on the weekend. I think Gordon probably will start, though, for those that are asking about him. We've seen him in training earlier today, so that's good news after the doubt following the Man United win, because he had that hip tightness. But we've seen him in training today, so it's kind of reassuring, that one. Hang on, what were the clean sheet odds of Man United? Should I be starting Maguire? Surely not. 21. Oh, God, should I start Maguire? Oh, I can't start Maguire, can I? Should I start Maguire? Oh, I shouldn't be thinking there's 10 minutes till a deadline. That's not even crossed my mind till now. Oh, no, surely not. Do I start Maguire? %21 chance of a clean sheet. I mean, it's 4%. Like, it's nothing. Do a poll. All right, let me end that one. 74% captain in Salah, 12% Saka, 9% Haaland, 5% other. Start Pinnock or Maguire. Pinnock, Maguire. FPL Review says I start Maguire, but there's literally 0.1 projected points between them. I feel like it's just a coin toss. Like, there's no point. Pinnock's 2.4, Maguire's 2.3. Start the one at home. Brighton can't score. They just scored 2. Nketiah starts. I'd be surprised. Prasik says, come on chat, make it 50-50. That does not help at all. Literally hadn't even crossed my mind till now. I feel like they both concede though, don't they? Thanks, Roy. Cat Jam. Start Harry. I think I'm going to leave it with Pinnock. There's no cleans anywhere. I agree with that. Neville says don't do it, Oscar. Pinnock scores goals. So does Harry. Harry scored... Well, he hasn't scored for 2 years. He scored once in 21-22, twice in 2021, 1-3, 2-2. Pinnock scored once already and 3 last season. I think I'll leave it. There's nothing worse than suddenly like thinking about something when you're live on YouTube, 10 minutes till deadline, 2,300 watching. Harry's a Champions League goal scorer. Harry scores own goals. This is not helping. 52% say start Pinnock. 47% say Maguire. You just know Maguire's scoring a bullet header now. Alright, let me try and help Kano with the team ID. Let me quickly check your team. We'll come back to that Pinnock thought. So you've got 2 free transfers. I would consider going Leno to Dubravka in your case. Your team's very good. Yeah, it's a great team. I don't think you need to spend a move outfield. You start Saliba, you start Tsimikas, and you start Lascelles. I'd put Wolves ahead of Dina on your bench, but Alvarez first on bench. Leno to Dubravka. Hope that helps. Put him in for the memes. Flandy loves Maguire though. He would say Maguire. Oh, it's 55% Pinnock now. Oh, I haven't tweeted my team yet. Maybe I should tweet my team and then I have to lock myself in. There's no backing out of Pinnock then, is there? Game week 15. Areola. Quickly tweet it before I change my mind. What did you do this week? One last look at chat to make sure I'm not making a mistake with Pinnock. I think I'm okay. No, John says surely it's Maguire. Don't do this to me, John. It's done. The tweet's out. Flanny says coward. Maguire 15-pointer locked. Maguire 93rd minute winner. I'll actually cry. Pinnock benched. That's one thing I'm confident of. He won't be benched, but nor will Maguire. They both start. Oh, you've already made a transfer. So you brought in... What did you do? You brought in Livramento for Dina. Yeah, that's fine. You don't need to spend another transfer. Just leave it at that. Leave it at that. You don't need to make another transfer, Kano. If you've already brought a Liver in for Dina, leave it at that. Roll the second transfer. Yeah, keep Kilman, Kvala. Absolutely keep him. Slabhead goal is written. It's going to happen now, isn't it? This is going to be me when Maguire scores a bullet header.
Oh, no.
Any team leaks? All we've had is that Doku is out and Stone starts. That's literally it. Actually, no, this is me. Maguire bullet header, 93rd minute.
This is the worst.
This is the worst. Cash to Porro, Trippier. Trippier. It's got to be Trippier. If you can get to Trippier, it's got to be him. Can't believe you're not starting Maguire's 15-pointer. Oh, no. I've got a bad feeling about this. It's too late. I've tweeted my team. I'll get so much hate. I'll be like, you said you were starting Pinnock and you've played Maguire. No, I can't. I don't... What a deadline dilemma. Is Solanke a goodbye? Yeah, he is. Ref hasn't blown the whistle yet, though. Well, it's 3 minutes till the deadline. Kudus or Palmer? Palmer. Pinnock or Anderson? Anderson. Get Maguire in. Just correct the tweet. It'd be like one of those official FPL tweets. After review, Pinnock has been dropped to the bench and Maguire comes in. John F. Diaby to Mbumo, Turner or Dubravka or Roll. 1 free transfer. I like Diaby to Mbumo more. As long as you're okay in Gameweek 18. I still think Mbumo's great for the next 3. I would do that. I think that's much higher upside than the Dubravka move. Pinnock. Okay. Oh, someone said Pinnock. Thank God. Everyone's saying bloody Maguire. I've got to think about all these permutations before I go live, because it's hard to think straight when you're live and there's like over 2,000 watching. Get Maguire in? No, I've got Pinnock starting. What do you mean? When Pinnock keeps when Pinnock concedes in like the first minute and Maguire scores a bullet header, 15-pointer. Flanny says join the Discord. If anyone's not on the Discord, link below for that. Make sure you get in. Rahul says Maguire in. Hazard has a weldy with a weldy. Maguire masterclass. Maguire captain. Triple captain Pinnock. John says good luck all. Wrong use of the meme. Yeah, true. Any leaks? Let me check last minute leaks. I don't think there is. All we've had is that Doku's out. Stone starts for City. That's it. That's all we've got. Just double check. That's it. Castro or Dogi? Start a Dogi. Maguire hat trick. Flandy, can you ban him? No, I'm joking. Pinnock bench. There's no way Pinnock's bench. That's definitely not happening. That's the only thing I'm confident on. Diaby or Palmer? Palmer. That's fine, Flandy. Thank you. Thanks for checking for leaks anyway. Thanks, Marco. Yeah, it's been a good stream. Like, hopefully you could tell I'm feeling a lot better than I did on the Saturday stream. I'm still not 100%, so you can look forward to an even better stream on Saturday. So, yeah, good to have you all here. If you're not subscribed, then hit subscribe. There's going to be a lot of sub-content coming later in the week. There'll be a video on Thursday, 2 on Friday. Hang on. I need to work out how I'm going to do all the videos. I've got 4 videos to do after Thursday finishes and before Saturday morning. Oh, God. I've got some thinking to do. That's the deadline. 6 PM. Maguire in. It's too late now. Maguire captain. Imagine if that's saved. Right, so yeah, that's the deadline. Is there anyone we can raid? Let's check who's live. That'd be good fun. We haven't raided for a while, so FPL, who's live at the moment? Oh, we could go to FPL Air. He's an absolute top lad. He's staying over at mine next weekend. We've got a football tournament in London, so let's go over to FPL Airs and spam focal raid in his chat. Niall is an absolute legend, so let's go show him some love. Me and him are playing in a football tournament next Sunday together, and then we're going out in London. Raid FPL bin. He's not live. He's rubbish anyway. He's trash. That's the Niall stream, so head over to there, spam in his chat focal raid, send in some love. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a great stream. I've really enjoyed it. Enjoy the fixtures tonight. I'll see you on Discord. Focal out.
After sending her in.